from a business perspective, tell me what China Joy is, what kind of conference it is, what it's meant to be, what it does for the public, and what do brands and companies should do there. What do companies normally do there? Do it as a summary. Give me like bullet points. Don't explain, not long explanations. Just what is the opportunities for companies to go there and do? What do they focus on? So I'm going to see here a little bit of the opinion of AI on what this is. Sometimes I'm doing this live, by the way. This is not prepared or anything like that. I actually don't know what the answer is going to be. But I already know, of course, what I think about this. And I don't think it's going to change because I've been to conferences like China Joy, Hong Kong Comic Con, etc. Now, the opportunity that I see for brands there, it's to connect. Let's just say the word connect first to their potential audiences and create content that connects, that helps the brand connect, link. Notice that I haven't said anything yet about product advertising or anything like that. Connect. So building community, connect. Brands with potential target audience. Notice I haven't said the word customer yet or anything like product. Let's see what AI it's giving me the answer. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. China Joy is a conference overview. What is Asia's largest annual digital entertainment, gaming, and consumer tech expo? That gives you a really good indication of what this is. Entertainment, gaming, consumer expo. Tech consumer expo, right? Format, it's a hybrid B2B and B2C, okay? So it's B2B and B2C. And B2C halls and B2B halls conferences. This is great. What is it meant to be? The central gateway to the Chinese gaming market and for Chinese companies looking to expand globally. What does it do for the public? Consumer showcase, hands-on access to unrealized AAA and indie games, World Pop Culture Festival, hosts for exports, tournaments, esports tournaments, cosplay competitions, anime and comic-con culture, ACGN, community engagement. What brands and companies should do there? Let's see. This is what I'm interested in. What does AI think about this? What's the summary? What AI thinks is mostly, a combination, regurgitation of blog posts out there. General brands, tech, hardware, consumer goods, automobile. Sponsored and co-brand. Partner with major IP owners, esport teams, gaming halls to reach Gen Z customers. To reach Gen Z customer. Notice that. Product placements and demos. Supply hardware, monitors, processors, audio gear, mobile devices to power demo stations. Experimental booths. Set up immersive and shareable activations to capture social media attention. Red, Douyin, Weibo. All right. This is really cool here. Set up immersive, shareable activations to capture social media attention. Gaming IP companies, camp companies, game developers, secure publishing licenses partners, meet Chinese publishers, distributors, and platforms partners that navigate a regulatory requirement. User acquisition, localization services, investor pitching, opportunities, and actions to focus on. So I already get what AI summary here is doing for me. And it's telling me that this is a B2B and B2C event, and that the opportunity is to connect with your target audience that is involved in gaming, involved in esports, involved in the whole world of tech, anime, gaming, etc. Okay? I would say very gaming focused so far. I wouldn't be surprised to go there and find that most of the cosplays that are being done there, they're about gaming. And I already, as a content creator myself, as a person who has been doing content creation for a company for over 4 years now, and consulting for a lot of companies as well as small creators, I already have an idea of what kind of events, what kind of contents, what kind of videos I can do in an event like this. I am used to doing things like IRL content, street interviews, and things like this. Now, when you're doing IRL content, you have to keep in mind what is the main purpose here. There's different ways of doing IRL content. One of the ways is that you pay somebody and then they get to be on your video, and then you can ask them whatever they want to do. I have never done this type of content, unfortunately. This means that I don't have the budget to do that, and the companies that I work for do not want to have that budget exposed to that. I've always been doing the other type of IRL content, which is get somebody to be on my video. This involves a level of gaming, a level of interaction, where you have to be charismatic enough, at least, to get somebody to be comfortable with you on camera, give you a moment of their time, and participate in whatever game or dynamic that you have created. In my case, I created dynamics like, can you make a drawing in 1 minute? Can you tell me what's your least favorite present you got for Christmas? Can you tell me what you do for a living? So I've done street interviews where I just ask people normal questions of like, what do you do for a living? And I've done things like gaming with people, where I go up to somebody and I try to create a game with them. In this type of interactions, you have to, as I said, make the other person feel comfortable enough for them to be on the video. And you also have to have a little bit of a target, perhaps, to like, okay, what do you want to get from this person as a fact, as a matter of a video for it to happen? And there are other kinds where you can go on a tangent, you can go into an adventure that is unprepared, unscripted, unthought of, and that's fine too. I've done some of those too, where I ask people, hey, can you give me a ride on your car? The reason why I'm making this video on my page, and this is an 8-minute video, it's going to be probably a 15-minute video, it's because what I think about as a content creator and as a director, let's say, it's what dynamic, and this is the important bit of the video, okay? This is how I think about this. What dynamic can I create in this environment that will make it worth watching for the intended target audience? That is the question that I go for. I don't go, and the problem that I find is that the companies that hire me or not end up hiring me, and I would say this, most of the companies out there, there are small founders, or most of the directors that decide, that are the decision makers on who goes on this trip, who goes to this event, who goes to this conference to do videos, who goes to this event to participate on it and represent our brand. The decision makers of those, what they think about is, how do I show my product on the video? And that is a very low-level thinking, because it doesn't take into account the context. This is an event, as you read here on the summary of AI, to connect. The sole purpose of this is to connect. And if you think about it from that perspective, it's much easier to later come up with a way to show your product, to showcase your product, as an accident. In the last conference that I went to, which was Hong Kong Comic Con just a few months ago, I made a lot of videos concerning well, I would find people who are cosplaying, let's say Batman, and I would find Spider-Man, and I would ask them, hey, who would win in a fight? Batman or Spider-Man? And I would just let them talk, and they would say like, oh yeah, but I have this power, and then no, but he has that power, so I think he beats me on that one. But hey, wait. And the people would engage on that. And guess what? People in the comments engaged on that too, because the intended audience, which by the way is the same intended audience that buys our products, that intended audience is entertained and engaged on that type of content. There's no need for me to showcase my product in that type of content. Because when you have a page online and you're putting your content, even if you're not, by the way, but if you're putting your content within a context with your account, then the people who are engaged in that content will and want to purchase something, they will find out themselves. They will click on the profile. They will see, oh, they are selling speakers. Oh, they are selling shoes that monitor your tracking of running. And then they will know, oh, this is a product for me. And they will be already invested because they were invested in the initial content. So I see content as a lead magnet. As a lead magnet, right? So if the content does enough to simply connect the company with the intended user, with the intended target audience, and it doesn't have to do anything about showcasing the product, showcasing its features and benefits. And that is the point that I find quite difficult to make it across to those decision makers. And of course, perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps it's better to only showcase your product on your page. But if that was the case, why would it be that most of the social media marketing that actually works, at first, it has nothing to do with the product itself? Most of the companies don't put it on your face. They deliver it in a creative way. Fashion brands are one of my favorite examples of this, because the way they do it is that they create telenovelas. They create real life situations, and then all they do is just wear the clothes that they're selling, right? That is a very implicit type of marketing, because also that product allows for that, because it's a very passive product in the sense that you only need to wear it. You don't need to showcase the features. If you're selling a camera, Bluetooth speakers, or shoes that track your running, then you have to, your people are not going to see that. They're going to see that you're wearing shoes, but they don't know they're tracking your running. You're going to see a speaker, but you're not going to know that it has Bluetooth 11.0. So I get it. For tech products, you have to showcase the features and benefits. But showcasing the features and benefits of a product without first connecting and making the audience care about the topic, about you in general as a brand, it will deliver very low results.